I cover college football for a living, but to be honest, I don't like covering high school recruiting. So this is the first time in the year that I truly tap into the recruiting updates. And with the early signing day just happening, here are my initial reactions. First reaction, Alabama still in that top tier, even without Nick Saban, still able to recruit at a high level. I remember last year when there was that press conference clip that went viral of Nick Saban kind of calling out his donor base to try to get him active in the NIL space, thinking that they might slip when it comes to recruiting. Even with no Saban, even in the new era, Alabama is still getting it done. Second, here comes Michigan. There is no reason Michigan should take a back seat to any other program when it comes to NIL. Nowadays, NIL has a direct influence on your ability to recruit. Obviously, that's well documented with all the Bryce Underwood stuff. It just feels like we could look back on the 2024 season as being the season that lights a fire under the Michigan recruiting base, and maybe they never look back. Gone are the days of USC just being a shoo-in for a top 5 recruiting class every single year. And that initial wave of national buzz and excitement when Lincoln Riley came to USC, that's gone. And not that 13 is a bad recruiting class, but USC is going to have to develop dudes, which over the past decade hasn't necessarily been a strong suit for the program. Ole Miss sticks out to me because it's well documented they're a top 3, top 5 program in the country in terms of how much they spent on their roster and NIL this season. So to be at 15 and the 6th SEC school very much sticks out to me as their program's approach is, hey, we'll catch you in the portal. That's when we'll give you the bag, not necessarily in high school. This is the most interesting one to me. Georgia Tech at 18, behind Miami, but ahead of Florida State and Clemson. Brent Key getting it done at the high school ranks. And this is especially interesting because I think Georgia Tech is uniquely positioned to have success in the transfer portal because guys that hop into the portal, I think, have an attraction to want to go back home. And Georgia, outside of Florida, Texas, and California, Georgia's like that next state, them in Ohio in terms of talent. So the amount of bounce back transfer portal guys Georgia Tech could get indefinitely is attractive. Don't sleep on what Washington and Jedd Fisch are doing, man. I have a feeling I'm going to talk about them a lot this offseason. Colorado, man, only 14 commits. It's just interesting. Like back in the day, everyone, for the most part, tried to build their program or build their roster the same way. It's not the case anymore. Look no further than Colorado, only signing 14 guys. Down the list a little bit, Arizona State, like in my era, usually if you had a great on the field season, that was a direct result of the recruiting class that you'd have. This to me feels low, and maybe Kenny Dillingham cashes in on it next year and it's a byproduct of the early signing date, but that feels low. I'm sure that momentum will stick up. And then Stanford, just with all the Andrew Luck GM news, pretty solid, all things considered. As a bottom tier ACC school in 2024, Stanford coming in ahead of most of the ACC. I see you, Commander Luck.